Does it often seem like that narcissist in your life is an expert at reading people and identifying their weaknesses? Well, it's probably because they are. And by the end of this video, you're going to know why that may be. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I have been recognized by many venerated organizations as one of the best in the business, including Martindale-Hubbell, U.S. News and World Report, Trend Magazine. I've written a couple of best-selling books, which is Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a Step-by-Step Divorce Guide. I help you out there deal with people who are toxic and who have created drama, trauma, and chaos in your life and make you miserable and traumatize you. And I help you with real skills on how to negotiate with them so that you can understand the personality type and figure out what the heck is going on so that you can maybe have an equitable result, an actual resolution to your cases, to your issues, and be able to move on with your life and create new beginnings and new futures. And if that sounds good to you, then I would suggest and invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. And that way you'll start becoming part of my community and enjoying all of the free resources that I have for you right here to help you with step-by-step guidance in this way. So now let's talk about how narcissists just seem like they're so good. They're so experts. They're such experts at reading people. And I've now counseled people from all over the world, thousands of people, not just in my law practice, but now that I've expanded my offerings, I've been helping people all over the world with all kinds of issues in negotiation. Many who are in business with narcissistic business partners or other business issues with narcissists, as well as people who are dealing with narcissists in divorce and other situations like that. And so I can tell you I've had many opportunities to have conversations with people who are dealing with exactly that. And so many times the conversation starts off where the person is telling me how great the other person is at duping people, at getting people to do things, at getting everybody to believe them. One of the biggest fears is that everyone is going to believe the other person and not believe me because they engage in smear campaigns. They line up flying monkeys. They do things that cause other people to have an opinion about you that may not necessarily be true. And I've had to deal with this in my personal life. I've had to deal with narcissists. I mean, there's 1 in 10 people in the world is a narcissist. So, you know, you've all dealt with one. We've all dealt with one. At least one, maybe more. And they're no fun. They're awful to deal with. And part of the reason why is because they seem to be so smart. They're so cunning. They are master manipulators. So they come in, they figure out what's going on with you. They're able to quickly identify what is, if you are going to be a good source of supply to them. And remember, and I've said this many times, but I want to make sure I say this again, that they don't attach themselves to you because you are so without value. They attach themselves to you because you have so much value, because they need that narcissistic supply. So they're trying to suck as much supply out of you as they possibly can. And if you are so ready for a new future, give me a new future in the comments. Okay, so now you're dealing with this narcissist and you're wondering, why are they so good at this? Why are they so good at reading people? Well, I actually was reading about this and reading actual excerpts of things that have been written by real narcissists, people who actually readily say, I'm a narcissist. And one of the ones that I read, this person said, I am really good at reading people because as a child, I was raised by parents who were less than nurturing, probably abusive, difficult to deal with, maybe even narcissists themselves. And as a child, I had to learn how to read them. I had to see, read, is the environment good for asking for something? Should I be showing up right now? Can I even walk into the room? Should I not? Should I not say this? Should I be disappeared right now? Should I hide? That sort of thing. And so as, a 5, 6, 7-year-old in a normal household, whatever normal actually is, I don't even know, but in a household where people don't tend to breed narcissists, I guess, then, that child doesn't have to think that way. They don't have to read people and try to read them for their own survival. And a lot of times narcissists have been, according to what I have read, they've been traumatized or neglected or abused, or something happened to them when they were 5, 6, 7 years old that caused them to feel like the world is not a safe place, that they had to survive, that they had to be on their own, that it was me and no one else, that, it's a me or you world. And it's not going to be you, it's got to be me. And it can never be an us world and a together world and we can share world, because the share world is one in which I have to let go of something. And if I have to let go of something, then that means I don't necessarily survive. It's a very scarcity-minded way of thinking. They're scarcity-minded to the extreme. And so they've learned to put on almost like a game face, where they just pretend like they're this way, and then in the inside there's a whole other thing, a different person. Now, all of us have some degree of that, and some people say that all of us have some degree of narcissism, but I disagree with that. I would just say all of us want to feel seen, heard, and know that we matter, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's when it gets to a point of, I want to feel seen, heard, and know that I matter, and I want to make sure that you don't. And I don't want anything to good to happen to you, and I don't want you to have any love or care, because if you have it, then I can't. When it gets to that point, that's when you're into a pathological state, and one that's unhealthy for certainly the narcissist as well, but certainly those of us who have to be in their space. And I would just highly suggest that you don't be in their space if you possibly can. Create those steel boundaries and all that sort of thing. But I do say that yes, they can appear cunning. They can appear smart. They are sometimes very smart. And by the way, I would highly suggest that you check out my video on are narcissists stupid or clever? Because I go more into all of that in that particular video. But just understand that, yes, they're highly skilled at manipulating. But as a negotiator, when you go to negotiate with them, you have to learn how to ethically manipulate the manipulator. Because otherwise, you're going to get eaten alive. Because narcissists feel like they have to take you down in order for them to survive. And so what's going to happen is, if you approach this whole negotiation with, I just want what's fair, and I don't want to hurt anybody, and I'll just take this, and I'm never going to get that, so I won't ask for it, you will not prevail. You will be taken for a ride that you don't want to be on. And I can just tell you that when a narcissist is involved in any kind of litigation, whether it's business litigation, probate litigation, family law litigation, whatever it is, that means it's going to last a hell of a lot longer. You're going to spend lots more money, and it's going to last way longer unless you can figure out how to ethically manipulate that manipulator. So yes, they're extremely good at reading people, but you can also be very smart in creating the right strategy, the right leverage, and doing exactly what you need to beat them at this negotiation and end up with a resolution that you're happy with, that you're comfortable with, that you can live with, so that you can create that new beginning and that new future. So if you are getting ready to negotiate with that narcissist, make sure to grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet at winmynegotiation.com. That's winmynegotiation.com. Join me in my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. If you like this video, like it, share it, drop me that comment, new future, and make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm Rebecca Zung. Thank you so much for joining me today. Remember that today is a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'll see you in the next video.